Hey everybody, I have a treat for you. We have LOS 16.0 and it's installed on my Nexus 6. And in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to flash it. So when we come back, we're going to jump right into this. And as always, remember to like, share, and subscribe. You hit that notification icon to get a notification of my videos as soon as they're released. That way you don't miss any of them. Okay, we're back. We are going to go ahead and get into this, guys. This is LOS 16.0 for the Nexus 6. I'm going to show you all how to flash this. First thing you want to do is you want to go to the XDA thread. I will put a link in the description down below on how to get here. I am using the XDA app. It's called XDA Labs. You guys can download it free as well. It's an outstanding app to use, and I do highly recommend it. I'll put a link to that in the description as well too. I wanted you guys to see, here is the developer, Elektroschmock. He is the maintainer for this device. He is also the maintainer for this device in LOS 15.0 as well. You guys really need to read the thread completely, especially the OP. I mean, you need to read it from top to bottom, all the way down. You cannot be encrypted and run this ROM. You cannot be encrypted and flash this ROM is what I mean. Yes, after you flash the ROM, you can encrypt it if you want, but then you can't access your data in TWRP. Just to let you guys know, Team Win Recovery Project for the Nexus 6 in Pi cannot decrypt your data in order for you to read it. There's no way. It just can't do it. It's not a ROM problem. It's not a phone problem. It's a recovery problem. I'm guessing it's a combination between recovery and phone. But just so you guys know, prerequisites right now in order to flash this is you need to be unencrypted. If you are, then this is going to be a piece of cake, just like any other ROM flashing. But if you aren't, you're going to have to format your data, just so you know. Also, make sure that you are on the last bootloader and radio that was released for this device. In order for this to run properly, you're going to need to be on that. R51 I think is the latest. I'm a Verizon carrier person, so I need to make sure that I download this radio because this was the last one released. They actually released one after this one was released. This one right here is the bootloader and radio basically for all of them. And then Verizon went out and pushed this one out after that. So this is just for the people that are on Verizon. If you are on Verizon, you're going to want to use that radio right there. But you do have to have the latest bootloader installed. Anyways, once you are sure that you are at the current bootloader and radio for your device, then you're going to want to scroll down, of course, after reading everything. And you're going to want to go to the download links, which are right here. If you click on the download link, it's going to take you to their builds. They are nightly builds right now. And I am going to be flashing the build that was pushed out for today. I'm not going to click on that. I already have everything downloaded, but of course you are going to touch that. It's going to automatically start downloading for you. Once that's downloaded, you're going to want to go to the Mind the Gaps. Download that as well. I used Mind the Gaps. I didn't have any issues. Except for SIM, and I'll get into that later, but that's a Verizon thing. After you've downloaded your ROM and your gaps, if you guys want Super User, here is the Super User add-on zip. This is LOS's own root. It does not come rooted, so if you want root, you're going to have to download that. And again, I've already downloaded all of that, but all you do is click on that. It'll take you to their site, and you can see you want SU-ARM is what you want, okay? So SU-ARM, scroll over, click on that. It'll start downloading again. I would also scroll down to the SU removal ARM. Again, ARM, because this is not an ARM 64. It's a Nexus 6. It's just ARM, ARM. So click on that just to have it, you know, your root unremoval tool. I can't stress this enough, guys. If you are going to flash this ROM, please read the entire thread. It's only 11 pages long right now. You need to know what issues did other people have, you know, what did they do to resolve it, things like that, guys. Before you go flashing a ROM, it's just bad juju to just, you know, download a ROM zip from a site like this and just start flashing away. Because if you don't read it, then you flash it, then you find out you have an issue, you go to the thread and you start griping, hey, this doesn't work on my device, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it was brought up already in there that it doesn't work, and, you know, they're working on it. So, like I said, guys, read it. Read it. It's there for you to read. All right. We've got everything we need. The last thing I want to do is I just want to show you quickly, if we go into Open Gaps, if you're going to download anything, make sure that you choose ARM. After you choose ARM, you're going to want to choose 9.0. Then go over here and pick the size gaps you want. I highly recommend going with Pico or Nano. I would definitely stay away from the Aroma and the Super. I have read posts where stock works well, but I've heard Micro, Nano, Pico, and stock. There are posts in the thread on those, and they are working for those guys. So if you're going to use Open Gaps, here's where you go. Then all you do is hit that red button to download it, and away you go. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and download the Pico version, just so I have it. So we're going to go ahead and go home, because that'll keep on downloading. And before you do anything, guys, you want to make a backup. So again, I highly recommend that tool right there. This is a USB OTG SD card reader, or micro SD card. It'll read SD cards, micro SD cards, USB sticks, whatever you want. I actually throw a little 64 gig or micro SD card in there, and away you go. We're going to go ahead and boot into TWRP and get going on this. So I'm going to hit power. Since I'm already on LOS and I have everything set up, I'm just going to go restart and recovery. So if you guys are on stock right now, or something that has no root, you can't just boot into your recovery. You want to hold power and volume down at the same time. Let it power up. You're going to come to this screen. Use your volume buttons to rotate through the different options. You want to see recovery mode, hit the power button, and it'll boot into recovery. Also, you need to have version 3210 installed. The OP says 3210. I would stick with what the OP says. That way, if you have any problems, you're good to go. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take your card reader, shove it in the bottom of your device, or you can plug this into your computer and do the same thing. I'm going to create a backup on my USB OTG. I'm going to have to reboot back into recovery, of course, so it can read it. But now, if you guys were doing this on your computer, you would be doing basically the same thing, only you would be picking for your option on where to store it on your computer. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say backup. I'm going to pick the partitions I want to back up. I'm going to go ahead and pick EFS as well. It's always good. It's not very big. And we're going to go ahead and say auto generate. So this is lineage, of course, 16.0. So that's good. If you want to change it, just click on there, type in what you want, and then once you're done, hit that check mark. Now I'm going to select my storage. Now, since I don't have it plugged into my computer, I'm not going to get that option. I'm going to pick the USB OTG. I'm going to click OK. And then I am just going to swipe to confirm. Now, I'm not going to do this because I already backed my system up. Actually, you know what? For you guys, I'm going to go ahead and back it up. What the hey. We will be back when it is done backing up. Also, I wanted to mention that when you back your system up like this, this is not backing up any music or anything like that, pictures, stuff like that. It just doesn't back stuff like that up. You need to plug this into your computer, or again, you can do it on the USB card reader, but you need to go into your system and actually copy those over onto either your computer or onto this micro USB. Make sure you copy all that stuff over, okay? Because if you do have to format your data, you're going to lose it all. And I would even back up your contacts and stuff, even though Google usually keeps that. You can back up your contacts, all your messages, all that stuff. Back it up, keep it in a safe place. That way you're good to go. And once you are done backing up, you're going to get this successful sign up here. And just to make sure that you have your backup, you're going to want to click restore and then select your storage, USB OTG. Okay, as you guys can see, I have both my Resurrection Remix ROM I was running before in Nougat, and as well as the LOS 16.0 I was running prior to doing my backup. Now, the other thing I want to get out of the way real quick, I highly recommend that you move your files, your ROM and gaps and whatever else you're going to flash, you move those files off of the device, and that is because if you need to format this, then you're going to lose all those files. So I strongly suggest moving them to the OTG or even on your computer, and then after you format it, if you need to format it, you can always move them back over onto the device. So in order to move things quickly, it's very easy to do. You want to go to advanced, or you want to go to mount, make sure that system is mounted. Go back, then you want to go advanced, file manager, find the files that you want to move, and in my case they would be under SD card. They're under SD card, which is basically what your internal storage is called, and then downloads. And I'm going to go ahead and move this build. I'm going to copy. I'm going to go to USB OTG, and I'm just going to copy it onto the root of that. So we're going to click OK, swipe to confirm. It's going to copy that over. I am also going to copy my open gaps. So we're going to move my open gaps over. So we're going to click copy file. It goes right back to your last place that you copied to, which is where I want to go. I'm going to click my check mark yes and swipe to confirm, and it is now copying that over, and it's done. It's that quick. It's faster moving things in TWRP recovery than it is in your actual device. So I really highly recommend that if you're going to do any kind of file transitions, do it in TWRP recovery. It is freaking fast, guys. We have what we need on our card. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do this if you are not encrypted, okay? Then I'm going to show you how to do it if you are encrypted. So if you're not encrypted, all you got to do is go to wipes, advanced wipes. Actually, we can go Delvic system. We're going to go Delvic system data cache. Do not touch internal storage. In this case, because you are unencrypted, we are going to not touch the internal storage. We are going to swipe to confirm that wipe. We're going to go back. I'm going to do it one more time, just to be sure. And we were going to swipe to confirm. Now I'm going to go back, and I'm going to reboot into recovery. You're going to get this that says there's no OS installed. Are you sure you want to reboot? Yes. Swipe to reboot. It'll reboot back into recovery. You're just fine. Alright, once it boots back into recovery, we are going to go ahead and click on install. I'm going to go ahead and install it from my micro SD card because, you know, I could do it from the internal storage, but I'm going to go ahead and do it from here. I'm going to click on the latest build, which is March 2nd. I'm going to make sure that is the build that I want. Yep. And we are going to go ahead and swipe to confirm. Alright, we're going to wipe cache and Delvic. I'm going to go back, wipe cache and Delvic again. Go back, I'm going to wipe cache and Delvic again. Yes, I know guys, it's a little overkill, it's just something I do. You don't have to, I just recommend wiping it once. Now we're going to go back, we're going to install the Mind the Gaps. And we are going to swipe to confirm. Wipe cache and Delvic again. Again, I do it 3 times. You guys don't have to do it 3 times. That's it. That's all you have to flash. You flash the ROM, you flash the gaps, reboot the system. I'm going to pull out my SD card reader. I'm going to let that go ahead and boot up. And again, I'm not going to cut any of this, but I may speed it up. Well, I will. I'm going to speed it up. And there we have it. It is booted up. Now guys, I highly recommend that you let your device sit for at least 5 minutes. Don't touch it. Don't go through your setup until you've let it sit. This lets the kernel and everything settle down, lets the ROM settle in, Alright guys, as promised, I'm going to show you guys how to flash LOS if you are encrypted. You cannot flash LOS or any other ROM if you are running encrypted. You have to be decrypted or unencrypted. So what I'm going to do is we are going to reboot into recovery, and I'm going to show you guys what you have to do, and then we're just going to go ahead and flash this. Now remember, before you do this, you want to make a backup. Put everything, your ROM downloads, your gaps, any pictures, any songs, make a backup and get it off of your phone. Put it on an SD card, you know, using one of these USB OTG readers, or back it up on your computer. Alright, I'm not going to show you that again because I already did it in the first half of the video. So I've already got my backup, I've already got my ROM gaps, everything on here. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. I should have plugged it in before I booted up. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. I'm going to reboot recovery again so it reads my USB OTG. It has to connect to it, and it does it while it's booting. Once you are in recovery, if you are encrypted, what you want to do is you want to go to wipes. You want to go to format data. You want to type in YES. You want to hit that check mark. That is going to completely erase everything you have on your internal storage. Completely. And it is done. Back, back, back. Now, before you can do anything else, what you want to do is you want to reboot back into recovery. So we're going to go ahead and click never show this again and swipe to allow modifications. And even though I had that set before, because I formatted my data, all that memory that it had set was lost. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to go to wipes, advanced wipe, Dalvik, system, data, cache, and we want to swipe to confirm. Back, Dalvik, system, data, cache. We're going to do it twice just to make sure. Swipe to confirm. Now we're going to go ahead and install. Now remember, we have nothing on our internal storage. You have up level and TWRP, that's it. So select storage. We want USB OTG, or you would be connected to a computer right now and you would just copy your files over onto your internal storage right now, and then you can just flash through your internal storage. So, but I've got it backed up on my USB OTG. I'm going to click OK. I am going to pick Lineage OS today's release, which is 3.2. I'm going to swipe to confirm. Let that flash. Once that's done flashing, I'm going to wipe cache and Dalvik. I do it 3 times. You guys don't have to. I'm going to go back, and we are going to flash the mind the gaps again. Of course, you guys can flash your open gaps if you want, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go with mind the gaps. Make sure that it says that. Swipe to confirm. Won't take long. Almost there, and it's done. I'm going to go ahead and wipe cache and Dalvik. And we are going to go ahead and reboot system, because that's all you need, ROM and your gaps. If you wanted to go ahead and add on that super user add-on, now would be the time to do it. But I'm going to run without root right now. We're going to reboot system. Now on your first time, it's going to ask if you want to install the TWRP app. No, I do not want it. Do not install. And I'm going to pull my card reader out, let that go ahead and boot up, and we'll be back when it is booted up. Alright, that actually took about 1.5 minutes to boot up, and we are there. Alright, the device has sat for about 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start this. It still hasn't recognized my SIM. If it did, there would be LTE there, and I don't see that. Either LTE, 3G, 4G, whatever. It's not there, so it hasn't recognized my SIM card yet. I was told with Verizon, you just have to let it sit for a while. I don't know, I haven't had any luck with this yet, guys, so hopefully they will get this figured out in some future builds. But if you guys are on anything other than Verizon, or your device is on Verizon, it happens to work for you, you know, then good. I'm going to go ahead and set this up now. I will probably black out or cut out where I put in my username and password, obviously. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get through this. And I'm not going to back it up off of any of the builds that I ran previous. I'm going to go ahead and click Do Not Restore. And I don't want to send any usage information to LOS. And next, and we are done. And this is going to be the screen you are greeted with. Again, this is their, I think it's launcher, if I'm not mistaken. Swipe up, it's basically kind of like Pixel Launcher, but not. This is the apps you're going to get with it as Flash. Now this is with the Mind the Gaps G-apps flashed with it. And if we click home, we swipe to the left, that's going to bring up the Google Cards page. It just takes a second to load, but there you have your Google Cards. And swipe to the right, takes you back to the home screen. We are going to go ahead and go into settings and about phone. And let you guys see, I will black out my my phone number and anything important. But if we scroll down to there, you can see this is Android version 9 Pi. If you keep tapping it, you'll notice the Easter egg brings up colors. And we're going to hit the back button again. Again, there's your build. There is your build version, and it is Llama 9 or Android 9. For the Nexus 6, there's your security patch, your vendor patch update. You know, that'll never update. Of course, your vendor won't. That's when Google quit supporting the device. A baseband version, you know, kernel, all that. I am running with the supplied kernel. That's pretty much it for that. Also, if we go into About Phone, scroll down to Build Number, tap it several times, unlock the developer options. We're going to go ahead and go back into System and go to Advanced, and I want to go ahead and click on Developer Options, and I want to enable my Advanced Reboot. Scroll down to the debugging. I want that turned on. Just in case I hit a wall, I can work with ADB. It does have a local terminal. Thank you very much, LOS, for that. Bug report shortcut. I'm going to go ahead and go down to drawing real quick. And I am going to lower everything. Actually, I'm going to get rid of it. Also, they have the display cutout. If you guys want to screw with that, you can have your tall cutout. As you guys can see, there's your tall cutout. If we go with double cutout, should give us one on both ends. This is really stupid. Corner cutout, but it's funny that they put it in there. It's basically making fun of Google. And then we're going to go to device default, which is, you know, nothing. Okay, so, but I think it's kind of funny it's there. What else? Let's go into gestures. And we're going to go ahead and hit the swipe up on home screen. Turn that on so that way you can have your swipe up once for your recents. Swipe up again for your app drawer. We're going to go back into settings again. And I'm not going to touch on everything, guys. I'm going to actually do a review on this. The updater is there. You can use this updater. I did use it today, so it works great. Status bar. Quick pull down. I'm just setting it up how I like to use it. I'll go over this a little more when I do the review. Center. Nope, I don't want to show seconds. I do want my AM PM on normal. And there's your brightness slider, auto brightness, and your brightness control. Buttons. You can switch around a lot of your buttons down here if you want. I want to go into my power menu and enable what I can, because I use my power menu for everything, guys. These are your volume button controls if you want to mess with that. I'm trying to think of anything else in here I really want to go over. I already went over status bar, buttons, gestures. That's it. I do want to show you one more thing, and that is going to be under display and style. I'm going to go to dark mode. It's going to give it a dark gray with a teal background. That's pretty cool looking already, but if you go into style, you can actually choose under your dark mode black, which is really cool. I like black. It saves on battery. I'm going to go accent, color, banana, so give me a black and yellow look. Of course, Bob, if you're watching, I don't think they have Bob Blue, but we could go with Cayenne. There you go, kind of Bob Bluish. And under advanced, if you guys want to see that quick, I'm going to go ahead and raise my display size to my old man eyes view. That's better. that's better for me anyways. And guys, that's it. That's LOS 16.0 for the Nexus 6. I still do not have data, and I don't think I'm going to. I've been running this ROM now for a couple days, and I still cannot get data on, and I am on Verizon, so just so you guys are aware of that. But from what I can tell, all the other carriers are working, and I've been told that Verizon works. On some devices it works great, so you guys might want to give it a try. If I've helped you out at all, make sure you give it a like button, or hit that thumbs up button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification button right next to the subscribe button. I want to thank all of my subscribers, especially those of you that's been with me forever. You guys are the reasons I keep doing this. That and I like doing it. Guys, I'll see you on the next video.